58% from the field goal, 47% from the three-point. Offense, defense, you want it. Madison Booker, dial in.
Jenna Burgett will be the acting head coach tonight, and we are honored to be able to welcome Connor Scott Caldwell into the world. Head coach Kim Caldwell and her husband Justin have welcomed their first child, and Jenna, who has been with Kim her entire career, will fill in as the acting head coach tonight. So congratulations, Justin and Kim. We know you're watching, and there's a lot of love for you around the world of college basketball. Now back to this game, Tamika. This is a very intriguing matchup because these two teams just flat out get after it.
And it's going to be so much fun to watch. You want to look at points? This is the game to tune in. Number 1 scoring offense against number 4 scoring offense in Texas.
It is rocking in the Moody Center. And we are underway. Tennessee in the road orange, Texas in their home whites. Texas ranked number 7 in the nation, coming off a big top 10 win against Maryland on Monday. Moore goes down the lane, and Whitehorn rejects that shot. Texas will keep the ball.
That's one of those things when you look at just Tennessee on the defensive end, you see Whitehorn actually went under the screen. Aaliyah Moore not able to finish at the basket.
Harmon could not get it in, and a 5-second violation forced right away. Well, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Toyota. And for Lady Vols, this is their 13th different starting lineup this year, but that doesn't really matter who starts in their system, does it, Tamika?
It doesn't matter, and right off the bat, a steal. Samara Spencer really has done a good job of not turning the ball over, but first possession for Tennessee, and they get it right back. Ruby Whitehorn, yet another defensive possession.
Whitehorn will shoot the 3. Good! Tennessee leads the nation in made threes per game. The average making 12 a game. They're the only team in history to hit 30 in a game. And Whitehorn follows. She has Tennessee's first 5 points.
You know, we were at practice yesterday, and Coach Schaefer was getting on his team. He said, look, the intensity is exactly what it is. I need you guys to lock in to what Tennessee is going to do, and we've seen the first couple possessions.
Spencer commits the foul. That'll stop the clock. And the reason I said it doesn't really matter who starts as we take a look at these Texas starting lineup, brought to you by Toyota. For Tennessee, they constantly sub, and that may be an understatement.
Well, we're used to seeing 5 coming at a time, but she only subbed 2 this time as the game wears on, and I feel like that's what Tennessee does a great job. They just wear you down throughout the game.
Longhorns looking for their first bucket, coming off their largest margin of victory over a top 10 opponent in program history. They beat Maryland 89-51 on Monday. Holly down the right side of the lane. Offensive board. Booker. So good.
Booker in that mid-range game. She is hard to guard.
Hollingshead quickly down on the other end. Answers. And that's the danger of Tennessee. They move quick, especially after your score.
When you look at Tennessee, what they do, they are always looking to get the ball up the court as fast as possible. They don't want to press set up. They don't really want to set up in the half-court offense. Transition game is where it's at.
Backdoor cut. And Booker is fouled. She'll go to the free throw line. That's one of the things I love about Texas, those backdoor cuts, as we will see 5 Tennessee players check in. Let's go back to that last bucket.
Well, look right here. Madison Booker always in the right spot at the right time. Nobody really around her. Whitehorn rotates over a little bit too fast, but when she elevates, her body elevates, and her shooting, when she releases the ball, she's so much higher than everybody else.
5 new players check in for Tennessee. Spear, Puckett, Boyd, Spearman, and Cooper on the floor. And Madison Booker, no coincidence, she wears that number 35. Kevin Durant is her basketball mentor, modeled her game after the Longhorn legend, and makes both free throws.
Well, if you're going to have a good comparison, KD would be the one. Obviously, he went here to Texas and following right along in his footsteps.
Spearman. And Spearman comes in off the bench and hits a 3. Yeah, it's interesting. Spearman feeling a little under the weather, and you looked at her today at shoot-around and said, hey, Z, you know, Jordan scored 40 when he was sick.
And that might have been a little exaggeration. Jordan, Kobe, I mean, all the greats. Right?
Taylor Jones cleaning it up inside. She gives him such a big post presence.
Well, I think when you look at these two teams, that's the difference. Taylor Jones down low, and even just the low post presence. Tennessee, they have a lot of guards that might be a little undersized, but they make it up with their quickness.
Puckett drives, gets fouled. There are a lot of similarities and a lot of differences in these two teams, but the Texas post is a big benefit to them. And there's that foul on Moore as Puckett drove down the lane.
That's a smart play, though. Earlier in the season, you saw Tennessee really focus a lot on shooting that three.
Well, this much anticipated game moved to tomorrow because of the inclement weather in the Deep South. Flau'jae Johnson, number 5 LSU, will take on Tahina Paopao, and number 2 South Carolina. It'll be a 5 Eastern here on ESPN, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus. Don't forget about that. You can now watch on Disney Plus. Good start for the Lady Vols.
Yeah, Lady Vols showing what they can do inside, what they can do outside, and yet another turnover by Roy Harmon.
Live ball turnovers are what Tennessee looks to do. 4th turnover on Texas. Boyd penetrates, missed the shot, and Booker with a rebound. Booker had to play the point last year with Harmon out, so she leads the break. Harmon, baseline jumper, good.
I love that 1-2 dribble pull up, and funny, we were talking about this in shoot around earlier, just the lost start. You see a lot of teams living and dying by that 3-point line or getting to the basket, but that in-between game.
Cooper, hand in her face, doesn't get the roll, and another rebound by Jones. Yeah, it's interesting. Vic Schaefer was telling us they don't need Rory Harmon to score, but it certainly does help when she does.
Well, Rory's such a great point guard that she knows when she needs to score and she knows when she needs to set up the offense.
Almost a little over a year since Harmon went down with the torn ACL, and she is back better than before. Shot clock is down to 4. Harmon going to have to make something happen and miss the rim, so it'll be a shot clock violation and give the ball back to the Lady Vols.
I'll take another look at this. Nice pass out to Roy Harmon. 1-2 dribble pull up. At her height, one thing she knows she can't do is get too deep into the defense because it's easy to get her shot blocked. So she got to find that little middle ground, and she's done a really good job so far.
This is Roy Harmon's 100th game as a Longhorn. An inspiration in how she's come back from that ACL surgery last year. Whitehorn, nice take.
Yeah, Taylor Jones has to step up. I feel that post player, when you come and show your numbers, you got to make sure that you push the guard out, and she doesn't do that.
Good look down the floor. Jones muscles it up and in.
What do you think about this race right here, up and down the floor?
I'm going to try to stay out of the way. Nice shot inside, goes off the rim by Latham. How about that last pass? Harmon looking up, finding Jones.
Well, Harmon's always going to look up and see all Tennessee orange up, a sea of orange, but they find Taylor Jones. They worked on that in shoot around today. They worked on that yesterday. Just ways to kind of get past. Sometimes teams want to dribble through a press. This is not the press you want to dribble through. You got to find a way to pass and move the ball.
Tennessee still without a rebound in this game, but they've hit 5 of their first 8 shots. Another look over to Jones, and now that Texas post presence is getting established, Tamika.
Yes, it is.
And they want to score points in the paint. Hollingshed had it. Booker took it away from her.
On the hand, Texas is using their hands. They're using their height.
Harmon again looking inside. Tennessee would like to see Texas take a lot of outside shots.
Well, I think that's the difference between these two teams. Texas wants to score in the paint, so Tennessee trying to pack it in down low into the paint. Whereas Tennessee wants to shoot from the outside. Shot clock down.
Harmon hit the rim. Shot clock reset, goes out of bounds. Timeout on the floor. It is about Pat Summitt, Tamika, because you can see a lot of the Pat Summitt philosophy in the Vic Schaefer Texas program.
Well, I mean, we've been watching him for a long time, and back when he was in the SEC and then came over to Texas, now back in the SEC. He's always been very disciplined, very focused. His practices have been run like detailed to a T, and his team play like that. That's an expectation.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities between those two in the way they approach things. Shot clock, again, a factor. Moore's going to have to throw it up, and not only does she throw it up, she draws the foul with 1.1 second left on that shot clock.
Well, a good heads-up play. If you see the shot clock winding down, just attack the basket and force Tennessee to have to guard you. Whitehorn reaches in at the last minute. Aaliyah Moore, very heads-up play.
Aaliyah Moore will go to the free throw line, hosts her own podcast here on campus, a aspiring broadcaster, did an internship with the Dallas Wings last year. Well, what an ESPN college basketball quadruple huddle we have Saturday. Number 9 Kentucky and Vanderbilt get it started at 2:30 Eastern. Then Cooper Flagg and Duke will take on Wake Forest, followed by Kansas hosting Houston. We'll cap the day with number 1 Auburn and number 6 Tennessee men. What a day of basketball on ESPN. That's Saturday. Spencer, who has gone over 100 assists for the season tonight. 3rd straight year she has gone over the century mark in assists. Good steal.
Very good. I think Talasia Cooper came around that screen and didn't see Roy Harmon hiding behind the post player.
Both of these teams, they hang their hat on their defense. They want their defense to create offense. Texas, though, still without a sub in this game. They've played only 5 players, and Tennessee has used 10 so far.
And that is going to be the first rebound for Tennessee in the game. Samara Spencer.
Moore cleans the glass for the Longhorns. Texas, this is the 7th ranked team the Longhorns have played. Charlie Cream has them as a high number 2 seed right now if the NCAA tournament were to start today. Tennessee hoping to get one of the top 16 seeds and be able to host first and second rounds. Shot clock again, under 5. Harmon, short jumper off the rim, and that fell right to Hollingshed.
You know, you talked about Texas just a minute ago, and we watched the game against Maryland a couple days ago. They ended up winning by 38 points. And Maryland is a very good basketball team, but Texas was hitting on all cylinders, offensively, defensively, the small things. They played really, really well together, and that's something that Vic said, I want us to continue to play like that.
It was an interesting dynamic because, on the other hand, Tennessee lost a heartbreaker. Last-second shot lost to Vanderbilt, their in-state rival, on Sunday. So Tennessee certainly coming in with that chip on their shoulder, and the Longhorns coming in having blown out a top 10 team. So we'll see who has the better mentality. The shot clock, though, continues to be an issue, and there's a foul away from the ball. Looks like Hollingshed is going to get called for the foul away from the ball.
Hollingshed and Taylor Jones, their arms just kind of intertwining. You see Taylor Jones calling for the ball, Hollingshed trying to move her feet around, but their arms intertwine, and that's a foul.
Vic Schaefer, head coach, you could feel the sense of anticipation playing this Tennessee team, sense of urgency as well, wanting to make sure his group was refocused after that big win on Monday. Preston is in the game, number 1 in white, first sub off the bench for Texas. And another foul inside. This time it looks like it's going to be called against Z Spearman.
Well, Jones is working hard down low and not making it easy at all. You see Spearman trying to figure out a way to box her out, but when the shot went up, she had position. So the best thing that you can do is just either get behind or get around another way, but trying to push her out, and Jones too physical for that.
This Texas team has made more free throws than their opponents have attempted this year. They are the best in the country at making free throws. Jones makes one there. Jones, a 71% free throw shooter, and makes them both. How are they able to get to the line so much, Tamika?
Well, so far in this game, it's just been, I think, a little bit more like outworking them down low and trying to find those extra possessions.
The take by Cooper and the foul underneath on Preston, and it is an and one.
Well, Preston trying to get her feet set, but Talasia Cooper just so good. She's right underneath the basket, so by the time she made that rotation, it was just a little bit too late.
Cooper from Tuberville, South Carolina, started her collegiate career at South Carolina, but she was a child prodigy in the sport. They asked her to play varsity basketball in the 5th grade. It was not allowed, so she really learned the game on the hard top, playing against men in her trailer park neighborhood. She described that upbringing as she learned basketball on the hard side of hoops. Preston. Jones, rebound and foul.
So you're not going to see a lot of substitutions right now for Taylor Jones because she continues to do the dirty work down low. See her right here. She sees the shot go up. She's already in position for the rebound. And, of course, Puckett tries to come over, but Taylor Jones with the finish, opportunity for the and one.
7 offensive boards so far for Texas, and they have scored 9 second chance points. Jones, first player in the game in double figures. She hasn't missed a shot of any kind so far. 4-4 from the field and has made her free throws. And she continues that streak. She's coming off a 13.9 rebound game against Maryland.
Well, so far she's been so effective and efficient in where she is, getting the rebounds offensively, defensive rebounds, in the right place at the right time.
Jewel Spear puts Texas up by 2. Final minute of the opening quarter. Tennessee up by 2. Preston will back it out. Not enough time to play for one, but they'll run that half-court offense. Moore right down the left side of the lane for the lay-in.
And that play happened. That was a great screen. Taylor Jones stayed high, and Leah Moore just came right off of it.
So we're tied at 20. The Lady Vols can hold it for the final shot here at the end of the first quarter. See if they do that. Down to 10 seconds. This is Cooper. Cooper, the star we featured in the open, gets rid of it to Whitehorn. Back to Cooper. And Cooper scores to end the quarter.
At the end of the first, Texas 20, Tennessee.
Gotta love Tennessee when they're hitting each other and finding each other in the plays. Back and forth we go. Ruby Whitehorn, Talasia Cooper, it's for 2.
Jody at the game tonight.
Well, it's always good to see Jody Conrad here, and she just has meant so much to this program, for one, but to women's basketball. I mean, obviously we're celebrating We Back Pat, but her influence and how she continues to influence the game is just amazing.
Kaya Boyd into the game for the first time for the Lady Vols, number 4 in orange, as they continue to use players. That's the 11th player Tennessee has used.
One of the big reasons Samara Spencer got called for an offensive foul. That is her second foul.
Shot clock again a factor. Moore going down low. Off the glass. How about that for shot clock management?
I love Aaliyah Moore is really coming into her own so far and stepping up and making some big plays in the last couple of games.
We're tied at 22. Whitehorn, who had a 3 earlier in the game. She had Tennessee's first 5 points. Cooper just could not hang on to it. She and Booker got tangled up, and Cooper is still down. Preston makes the shot on the other end and timeout as Talasia Cooper got tangled up with Booker and never got up. Jenna Burdett, again, the acting head coach tonight in place of Kim Caldwell.
Well, we hope it's nothing serious.
Again, Cooper has been the lifeblood of this Lady Vols team this year. She is number 55 in orange, gets tangled up with Booker, number 35 in white. And yeah, see, Booker inadvertently came down on her foot. Watch 35 spin around. And Cooper up on her own power, limping off. And she is heavily taped on her ankles, so let's hope that that did the trick and she can shake this off.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, part of it is a little bit of frustration. You get the rebound and, you know, you get tangled up. So some of that is a little frustration. But and knowing Talasia Cooper and watching her and just the way she competes, she'll be back in this game.
Well, Jenna Burdett, the acting head coach, told us today that they've had a team leadership group that has been meeting regularly. So this team leadership group having a lot to deal with right now. Their head coach not here. Kim and her husband Justin, congratulations on the birth of their first child. And now Cooper's out of the game. So let's see how the Lady Vols respond. Tess Darby in number 21 for Tennessee, and it is the first Texas lead so far, 24-22 here in the second quarter.
Well, I think what you have to look at now, it's going to be an offensive foul on Jillian Hollingshead.
Yeah, Hollingshead has been getting mixed up down low with the Texas post players. Watch her number 53 with that screen.
And that's going to be her third foul, so she's going to come out.
So Hollingshead will sit with the 3 fouls. Hollingshead has scored 1 bucket so far. But again, Tennessee, if you're on the bench, you're playing basically for Tennessee.
Well, I think that's one of the good signs is when a player goes down or you get in foul trouble, you have other players that are used to playing in these types of games.
So 2 big pieces missing right now, though. See for how long. They go into Jones. Jones, that's the first shot she's missed tonight, and follows it up with the make.
Well, I tell you, for Tennessee, it's going to be a long night if you continue to let Taylor Jones just have her way.
Boy, look at Boyd. Boyd lightning fast and draws the foul. Kanaya Boyd, the redshirt freshman from Las Vegas, will go to the line. Oldacre in off the bench for the Longhorns.
Yeah, so that'll be Preston's second foul. And I want to go back because Hollingshead only has 2 fouls.
So Vic Schaefer will watch Kanaya Boyd shoot this free throw. And Boyd redshirted. Well, let's take a look at this men's SEC Network basketball lineup for Saturday, 1 Eastern. Ole Miss taking on number 22, Missouri at 6 Eastern, 5 Central. We finished the day with Alabama hosting LSU. Should be another great afternoon and evening of hoops. How about the SEC and men's and women's basketball to me? I mean, it's must-see TV.
It's definitely must-see, and we always talk about just the difference in being in the SEC. Every single night, any team can win. It really doesn't matter what number you're placed in the standing. You have to come out ready to play every day.
I think you have to agree. The SEC is the premier college basketball conference right now. Nice take. Good layup by the very athletic Z Spearman. She is such a dynamic player. Oldacre. And Oldacre hopped. That's a travel, no foul.
You saw Rory's head looking up, trying to get the ball to Oldacre down low. She catches it, not able to finish, but we'll take another look. Z Spearman, great job. Nice little hesitation. And takes it to the basket.
5 points for Spearman. And again, a little under the weather. Coming into this game, doing a fantastic job. Puckett looking to get it in, has to burn a timeout. Good D by the Longhorns. So just under 8 minutes left to play in the half. Texas up 1 on the Lady Vols.
LSU, which is coming your way tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. As for this one-point game right now in Austin, what are you seeing?
Texas is asserting its physicality down low, creating second chance opportunities. 8 offensive rebounds already for second chance points. Big time things happening when you can create extra possessions for yourself.
8 offensive rebounds, is that good?
Not bad.
The answer is yes. We'll see you at the half. Sam, Tamika.
Asia Cooper, she limped off the court, and during that timeout, she sprinted back to the bench. So still not in the game, but we hope to see her re-enter the game, as that was such a good sign to see her run back to the Tennessee bench. Whitehorn trying to drive and does, scores over the top of Jordan Lee.
Well, I think that's something Whitehorn going to have to continue to do, is muscle her way to the basket. And you really haven't seen Tennessee force a lot of threes. Earlier, it seemed like earlier in the season, that was an emphasis to try to get as many threes up. But as of late, as things have calmed down, they've really looked at changing the attack to the mid-range and getting to the basket.
Tennessee, again, they will play full court defense the entire game. That never changes for the Lady Vols.
You can do that when you're making the substitutions the way you're making them. 5 players in, 5 players out. Right now, Tennessee really struggling. They have players on the bench in foul trouble that you probably will not see until the second half.
Only 2 threes made by Tennessee. Remember, they averaged 12. Booker with that mid-range jumper, so efficient.
Booker could just jump out of the gym, and then when she releases at the top, she's already tall. It's already tall, but then she can shoot over people. And Spearman with the answer. Another three-pointer.
Third three-pointer for the Lady Vols. It's a 2-point game right now. This entire first half has been so close between these two teams. We just could not wait to see how this game unfolded because of the way both of these teams play. Harmon to Lee. Jordan Lee missed the shot. Puckett with a rebound. Lee, one of the talented freshmen for the Longhorns this year.
And that was a great shot for Lee. I mean, those are shots that we know she can hit.
Texas really dominating the boards in this game so far. Oldacre leans in, missed her shot, goes out of bounds, but it'll stay with Texas. And Talasia Cooper back in the game. And again, she limped off the floor earlier when rolled her ankle.
I think that's a good sign for Tennessee, having your leader come back on the floor. And obviously, Talasia Cooper right now leads the team in scoring and steals. So she really is, on the offensive end, she's the spark. On the defensive end, she's the spark.
Jackalinga and Women Tunda in the game for the Longhorns. That's her who caught the entry pass. And she goes underneath. And Women Tunda with the score right away. Junior from South Dakota. Transferred in from Washington.
I love the patience on that.
We are tied here in the second quarter. Cooper one-on-one. Shoots it over Lee. And Women Tanda continues to dominate the boards for the Longhorns. They've out-rebounded Tennessee 17-5. Booker all the way.
As you see that drive, you can almost see it happening. The Red Sea opened up and allowed Madison Booker straight to the basket, but she's just so poised. When she has the ball, she's hard to guard.
Nice answer by Kanaya Boyd. Boyd red-shirted. Went to Tennessee early after an injury in high school and decided to stay and play for Kim Caldwell. Really just getting going in her Lady Vols career. Booker off the mark on the 3. That was Boyd with a rebound. Cooper rifles it over to Darby, 3-point specialist. Yes! Tess Darby, one of the best all time shooting threes in Lady Vols history.
Well, that's a great sign when you got your 3-point specialist right off the bat, comes in the game ready to shoot, locked and loaded.
And Tennessee up 3. Texas only 2 losses this year to Notre Dame and South Carolina. The Longhorn resume is stellar. Booker off the screen, working on Cooper. Nice D by Cooper. And Cooper, one of the nation's leaders in steals. Puckett, that's deep. Good! And the 3-point shots are falling for the Lady Vols.
You don't have to break it. You don't have to fix it if it's not broken. And when you see Puckett wide open with nobody around between Puckett and Darby, You cannot afford to leave those two wide open.
It is an 8-0 Tennessee run right now with 4 minutes left to play in the half. Harmon setting up this Longhorn offense. Oldacre trying to post up on Puckett. They are battling inside, and Puckett gets called for the foul.
Well, it's going to be really hard to sit back and guard Oldacre, but let's go back and take a look at this. Madison Booker against Talasia Cooper, one of the best defenders in the game right now. Coop to Puckett for three.
Puckett just picked up another foul. She's on the bench now. No free throws yet for Texas. 3 fouls on Tennessee, just 1 committed by the Longhorns.
So we got 3 players with 2 fouls right now. Sarah Puckett, Samara Spencer, and Jillian Hollingshed on the bench for Tennessee with 2.
Harmon trying to create. Nice spin. Missed the shot. Good rebound by Lee, and 1.
We talk about these freshmen when they come in and they make an impact. That is what an impact looks like. Jordan Lee fouling the ball. Taylor Jones not in the game, so somebody else has to step up and get the rebounds. And she came flying in there. Nice finish. Get an opportunity for the AM1.
Jordan Lee from Stockton, California, has already been named the Tamika Catchings National Freshman of the Week this year. That was on January 7th.
You just wanted to say that.
Well, I did. But you actually reach out to some of them, don't you? And you talk to them when we're on site if they've won your award.
I try to. You know, I think it's just good for the game, and huge honor for me that it even have an award named after me. But these freshmen have been absolutely phenomenal.
Cooper on the miss. Booker. A 3 would tie it for Texas. Oh, that was almost a steal. Good recovery. Wimintonda looking inside. Kicked out. Harmon will pick it up.
Now this offensive possession really happened because of Jordan Lee on the defensive end.
Shot clock again, down to 5. Wimintonda off the rim, reset the shot clock. Offensive rebound by Booker, and the stick back. 11 offensive rebounds for Texas. Spear missed the 3. There's an offensive board for Cooper. Cooper wide open. I think she was too open.
Texas right now, you can kind of feel the energy in the arena shift a little bit. Trying to find a way to get on a run for them.
Now, when you look at these rebounding numbers, heavily in favor of Texas, but yet Tennessee's been leading most of this game. How do you account for that?
Well, I mean, I think Tennessee has been able to be efficient on the offensive end and get some shots scoring. But Texas is just dominating down low. Not only are they dominating on the rebounds, but they're attacking the basket and getting opportunity at the free throw line.
And for Texas, Lee Moore.
Lee will be going back to the free throw line after being fouled by Whitehorn. Second foul on Whitehorn. And Jordan Lee.
I think one thing you have to look at right now, and we always look at the effects of the game, is how does foul trouble come into effect in games like this?
Well, coming up after our game, the Australian Open coverage rolls down under with the first men's semi. 24-time Grand Slam champion Novak Djokovic will take on second-seeded Sasha Zverev. Also available on ESPN Plus and ESPN Deportes. And then stick around, 3:30 a.m. Former Florida Gator Ben Shelton is in the semis of the Australian Open. What an opening half between these two heavyweights, two of the most recognizable programs in college sports. Spearman off the mark, Booker with the board.
I don't like that shot for Spearman. I think she could get a better shot, and Madison Booker is going to show you just what kind of shot she can get. Put on the jet, take it to the basket, Madison Booker.
And the Longhorns have countered the 8-0 run by Tennessee with one of their own. Good step through by Spearman. Vic Shaver wanting a travel call, but a foul was called against Texas instead.
Well, these Spearmen, great job of stepping through, but check this out. Madison Booker put on the Jets. Literally nice little reverse layup. You gotta stop her. If you don't step in front of her and force her to have to pass the ball, she is going to find a way to score.
Oldacre got called for that foul. Spearman on the line, coming off her second double-double this year. 11 points, 11 rebounds against Vanderbilt, and Spearman did not start tonight. Has come in and now with 9 points could be the first Lady Vol to go into double figures if she makes this free throw. Well, you never know when you have a Lady Vols or a Longhorn game who's going to be the leading scorers, because both of these teams have had several different leading scorers so far in the regular season.
Well, it's how they play, and because they get up and down the floor the way they do, you're able to rotate in players, and that's the thing. I think as a player, I would have loved that. You play 100%, you go all out, you come out, you take a rest, and you're going right back in the game. And I think you can appreciate, you have an appreciation for that when you're watching it as well.
Now, you were having a conversation with Holly Warlick about that, the former Longhorn assistant and head coach. Lee, three-pointer.
Jordan Lee right now, 7 points, and has made and changed the game just by being out there.
Vic Shaver said she has definitely impacted our team this year. Final minute of a thrilling opening half. Steal by Harmon. Harmon underhand to Booker.
Transition bucket.
Cooper on the other end. Harmon with another rebound. Texas finishing the half strong. About an 8-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock as we get ready to end this opening half. Shot clock down to 7. Harmon has it. To Moore. Back to Harmon. Shot clock at 1. Harmon launches. Got fouled with .1 on the shot clock.
Not a smart play. Talasia Cooper is going to get called for that foul. I love the patience that Texas had. And then when it comes to making a play at the end, who do you want the ball in the hands? You want the ball in either Roy Harmon or Madison Booker, both on that left side of the screen. And Roy Harmon will get a chance to finish the play at the free throw line.
One of the most inspiring athletes in women's basketball, coming off ACL surgery a year ago. And the strength and conditioning coach, Zach Zillner, was a big part of helping her get back. And he said the 6 months after the ACL surgery are really crucial. And she worked harder than anyone he's ever seen. And it has definitely been a tremendous success for Harmon getting back to leading this team.
Well, it's been a lot of fun, too, because she said she really put a lot of her energy into Madison Booker, number 35. And Book had an amazing freshman season, and now, of course, going into her sophomore year.
Final seconds of the half. Cooper lost it. Well, we just saw some Texas fight as the Longhorns finished the half strong. Madison Booker with 14 points to lead the Longhorns. And we're going to head now into the studio for halftime. Take it away, Elle.
Thank you. 11 points from offensive rebounds.
And now for tonight's game track, brought to you by E-Trade from Morgan Stanley. Offensive rebound numbers huge in the favor of Texas. Texas ended that first half so strong. Let's see how Tennessee comes out here to start the third quarter. Tennessee coaching staff huddling up near the locker room at halftime, trying to game plan, and an offensive foul right away. We'll turn it over. Again, Jenna Burnett, the acting head coach tonight in place of Kim Caldwell, as again, Kim and her husband Justin have welcomed their new baby boy into the world, Connor Scott Caldwell.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I think Tennessee really has to adjust. It already looks like Texas is, and I said this in ending the second quarter, Texas's intensity has gone up to another notch, and it's going to be interesting to see if Tennessee can recalibrate and get back.
By the way, that was the 64th charge taken by the Longhorns on that last defensive possession. Holly misses the shot. Whitehorn with the rebound. Whitehorn getting by Booker. Off the glass and in.
Well, Whitehorn's done a good job. She started off the game really attacking the basket and getting those opportunities. I think it's going to be important for Tennessee to continue to look at attacking.
It's one of the things they do best is attack. Have to find a way to get on the boards as well. Good screen. Booker comes off it, goes to the basket, no problem.
So we've seen Madison Booker go left hand. We've seen her go right hand. We've seen the pull-up jumper. We've seen the three. I mean, she can do it all. And Ruby Whitehorn with the answer.
Whitehorn, 13 points in this game. Remember, she had the first 5 of the game for the Lady Vols. Harmon will slow it down. Texas got deep into the shot clock on several possessions in that first half. Holly, the all-time winningest player in Texas history with the ball, double dribbled.
Yeah, I think Holly got confused. She picked up the ball once and then kind of forgot about it. But let's take another look at the drive. Madison Booker with the right hand all the way to the basket. Then a transition game. Ruby Whitehorn answers. Both teams like to get up and down the floor, and so I think that's going to be a big thing, a big key in the second half.
Cooper bringing it down against Holly. That pass broken up. Nice recovery, though, by Spearman.
That was a lucky play right there. Taylor Jones didn't have her eyes on the basketball.
Boyd probing, shoots, scores. Jules Spear launches it in for the Lady Vols. Spear's been averaging 17 a game in SEC play. That's 4 more than her season average. And Tennessee presses the entire game. And another turnover forced by the Lady Vols.
Well, that's something that we heard Coach Schaefer and the staff talk about earlier. Make sure you do not pick up the ball on the sideline. And Madison Booker found herself on the sideline by the half-court line, so not a lot of opportunity.
Well, good D on Lee. They barely got it in the 5 seconds. Cooper looking for the screen. Spear lost it. Boy, Lee has been so impactful tonight off the bench for the Longhorns.
Yeah, she's been a lot of fun to watch, and you know, you hear a lot about Madison Booker, and obviously with Taylor Jones and Aaliyah Moore's had some good games, but it's been very impressive watching Jordan continue to get from the first half to the second half.
Cooper draws the foul, and Talasia Cooper, who injured her ankle earlier in the game and came back, took a hard fall there, but pops right back up.
And that's going to be on Aaliyah Moore. Cooper's great job of attacking the basket, sees 2 defenders coming.
4 Lady Vols come into the game. Cooper will come out after the free throw. I did want to point out something, Tamika, because we've been celebrating, obviously, the birth of Kim Caldwell's first child, but Holly Warlick, who is a legendary Lady Vol, great player there, her rafters in Thompson Bowling, her jerseys in the rafters in Thompson Bowling. She just lost her mother, Fran, this past week, and we wish Holly our condolences. Fran was a big part of the Lady Vols basketball program, passed away at the age of 95. So, Holly, we're thinking about you tonight. Holly Warlick, another Hall of Famer. Worked alongside Pat Summitt for so many years and was the head coach of this Lady Vols program as well.
Yeah, definitely thinking about you, Holly. Funny when you think about celebrating We Back Pat and just all of the great Lady Vols that are out there, and me being one of them, right? Having the opportunity to be a part of this legacy and just what Pat had meant to us, and to see her continue to be such a huge impact for our game.
3-pointer drained by Alyssa Latham Remember, Tennessee leads the nation in threes. They average 12 a game. They're halfway there so far. They made 6 of 8. Tennessee has taken back the lead from Texas.
That was an interesting press break right there, but you look at the press for Tennessee, sometimes in that full court press, they leave the back wide open, and Madison Booker continues to go to work.
I mean, Booker is basically automatic from that 10 to 15-foot range.
I think Booker's automatic wherever she is, and you cannot lose sight of her. Nobody switches out. Coop's a little bit late trying to get to her. But once she catches the ball and she elevates, there is nobody else that I feel like can get up to that level, even in her eyesight, between her eyes and the basket.
Lee still in the game for Texas, up to Booker. It's a 1-point game. The margins are so thin in this game, Tamika. A good game. Lee, baseline jumper, yes.
Jordan Lee's impact on this game, 9 points right now. You look at the stat sheet, and I feel like the stat sheet doesn't even give her justice.
Yeah.
She's in the right spots on defense. That's her fighting over the screen, back in front of the ball. I mean, doing the little things.
And how about that? Another big bucket by Spearman. Spearman has been very impactful off the bench as well for Tennessee, 12 points. Now, Lee, again, we mentioned earlier the Tamika Catchings National Freshman of the Week earlier this year. She had 17 in a road win against Oklahoma. Booker, again, automatic.
Yeah, you can't go over the top of the screen. You have to chase Madison Booker. Wherever she goes, you go. And you got a player like that, you can't even afford for them to catch the ball without a player right in front of them. That's a testament to Madison Booker. I mean, she's unbelievable watching her efficiency this year. While her numbers might be down a little bit, her field goal percentage is up. Her three-point field goal percentage is up. Her free throw percentage is up. All of her percentages have gone up.
I think that's the key, right? Because when you look at Booker, who was the Big 12 Player of the Year in her freshman year last year, she had the big averages as Harmon answers for the Longhorns. Booker, though, this year, a more complete basketball player for Texas.
We had a very in-depth conversation with Coach Schaefer. He's like, you know, she's efficient. She doesn't need a lot of time. She doesn't need a lot of shots. She's going to be strong with the ball. And Jordan.
Yeah, Lee got a block, and then Spearman in the right place at the right time cleans that up. And it is back and forth between these heavyweights. Two of the most recognizable programs in college sports, both in the top 20. Madison Booker, on fire, has had 20 points to this point in the game, and the reigning SEC Player of the Week is putting on another show on her home floor. And off the court, she graduated from the business school here in 3 years with a finance degree and is in her second year of getting her master's. She did an internship at the U.S. Open golf tournament last summer. So Shea Holly's just the epitome of a student athlete.
Well, what it takes to be successful, not only on the court, but even more importantly, off the court.
And a 5-second count. Another turnover forced by the Lady Vols. Didn't burn a timeout there.
Well, we're coming out of a timeout, so you look at the bench. Coach Schaefer not happy with his team.
You just take the turnover?
At least it's not a live ball turnover. Yeah. So you can set your defense and hope that defensively your team can do what they need to do.
Whitehorn traveled, and that's exactly what they did. Good D by Texas to make up for that turnover. Well, Jenna Burdett, in 2017, she was a junior guard at Dayton University. Never in her wildest dreams did she think in 2025 she would be an assistant at Tennessee, and tonight the acting head coach in place of Kim Caldwell.
Well, you never know what can happen, and even as a player, we would always say when one person goes down, next man up, and that's exactly what you have to think in this coaching world. When one of your coaches goes out, you got to be able to rotate, and whatever you've already instilled in your team, you hope that the team will continue to play and rock.
Spencer gets fouled on the way to the basket. And Sam Spencer will go to the free throw line. Jones with the foul.
And I think for Tennessee, one thing that we have seen this game is their attack to the basket. You know, we came in thinking, oh, this is going to be a three-point contest and Tennessee's going to be shooting a lot of threes, but really it hasn't been that. They've gone to the line.
Well, a reminder that the much-anticipated LSU-South Carolina game will take place tomorrow. Number 2 South Carolina will be going up against number 5 LSU, is undefeated, 5 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus. Lady Vols keep possession. Hollingshed, offensive foul. And another charge taken by the Longhorns. Carlton stood in and took that one.
Well, I think Carlton did a good job. She came over and got her feet set.
Wait a minute. It is actually going to be a block now. And that's why Vic Schaefer went from happy to sad. So Carlton gets called for the block. Initially a charge overruled. Hollingshed on the line.
Well, I tell you what, it doesn't really matter what it's called if Tennessee can't hit their free throws. We saw Sam Spencer just missed 2. Hollingshed to the line, just missed her first one.
Tennessee now 7 of 12 from the free throw line. We're tied at 55. And this is pretty much the story of the SEC, Tamika. You just do not get a night off.
But that's what makes it so fun. I said that earlier in the game. It makes it fun when every single night, no matter who's coming off a win, who's coming off of a loss, it's good games. And that defense right there, but Madison Booker rises up. Coop's going to get called for that foul.
Cooper thought she had the block. Wimentanda will come off the Longhorn bench and replace Carlton.
And I think the thing that makes Madison Booker so good is that when she attacks the bat, like when she looks up, when she comes off that screen, she's always looking at when she's going to get that shot. She knows exactly when she has the defense beat, and when she rises up, it is you can't guard her.
Yeah, it's interesting thinking about just how her brain works. She is a big lover of math and physics, and you can kind of see that in her game. She takes the high percentage shot and makes it.
Texas has switched off their defense. They went to a little bit of a zone look right now. Tennessee's still running their man-to-man, trying to figure it out, but it's definitely a zone.
Cooper over Harmon. Wimentanda with the board. And they tie her up for the jump ball. Possession arrow will give it to Texas. More subs coming in for Tennessee. And they have definitely not changed the way they play in any style or fashion, with Kim Caldwell not being here tonight as the head coach.
Well, I think you got to go with what you know, right? This is how they've been playing all season long. And, of course, for both teams, you know, when you're on the winning side and everything is moving, it's easy to look at the things that you're doing successful. It's when it gets a little hard, the adversity kicks in. Do you stick with the same game plan and move forward with it?
Well, tonight was a test because Kim Caldwell's been setting this team up to be able to play without her, to practice without her, and I think they're passing it right now. 3 on the shot clock. Rare miss from Booker. Offensive rebound, and the stick back by Jones, and Jones now has her 6th double-double of the season.
They had 3 players around Jones trying to box her out, and she's still able to jump up over them and get the board.
Spencer pulls the Lady Vols back to within 1. Lee quickly up the floor for the Longhorns. And that is another foul on Spencer. Spencer with the reach.
That's going to be Spencer's third foul. Let's take another look at this three. Ruby Whitehorn finds Sam Spencer. No rotation over from the top guard on that zone. He gets a good look.
Spencer will stay in the game for the Lady Vols, number 7 in orange. A minute to play here in the third quarter. And Lee has gone down to the baseline. They're trying to figure out who's going to throw it in for Texas. They worked down these inbounds play in practice the last 2 days.
Well, I feel like both teams are trying to figure out what defensive set you're in. And you're right, Texas walking around, looking at the bench, trying to figure out what to call in.
So we're ready to go now. It'll be Harmon inbounding it. Minute to play here in the third quarter. Lob out to Lee. Lee thought about the three. She'll drive. And draws the foul on Jewel Spear. So Lee will go to the line.
I like that drive. Jordan Lee not settling for the three-point shot. Initially she had a good look, and then she just drove. And see what she does her body. She steps back. It forces Jewel Spear to have to reach over her head, and that's where you get the foul.
Lee has been so much fun to watch. She was also an excellent track athlete. She won state championships in the 800 and 1600. Both of these teams are elite in terms of their fitness.
That's uncharacteristic. Misses at the line, 10 for 15 from the line for the Longhorns and 7 for 13 for Tennessee.
And that was only the 5th free throw all season that Lee had missed for Texas. Heading into the fourth quarter with a good one.
I see them trying to pack in the paint right now.
Spencer gets it back. And Spencer, are you kidding me?
Wow.
Did she see the rim? Samara Spencer pushes the Tennessee lead to 1 in the final 20 seconds of the third.
And Coach Shaper wants to get the last shot.
Texas looking for the lead. Under 10. Harmon picks up her dribble. Jones. Taylor Jones showing some range. It was a 2, but for the post player, this was a sweet-looking jumper.
Yeah, Taylor Jones, ready, lock, let's go. Definitely an honor. I don't know why Pat was shaking her head either. I thought that was a good play.
Well, that could not dampen your game. And I have to say, Sum It Up is one of the best autobiographies I've ever read. It's Pat Summitt's autobiography. When she left Tamika's house on her recruiting visit, she says to Mickey DeMoss, "Mickey, it is going to kill me if we don't get this kid." And she not only got you, you did great things as a Lady Vol and then on in life.
Definitely everything that Pat taught me, not only as a player, but even more importantly as a person off the court. And I know, a lot of people have heard about her definite dozen, and that had been something that had been instilled in definitely a playbook for my life.
Well, I think she would be enjoying this basketball game right now.
Oh, I know she would. She'd be over there with Jody Conrad. They'd be loving this.
And Jody Conrad, the longtime Texas women's head coach, Hall of Famer, she's here tonight watching. Matthew McConaughey's here. It's a tough ticket.
Telling you, I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to go over there and get my picture with him.
So fourth quarter, Moore spins inside. And that is the Texas bread and butter. Feed that post.
Going down low, Z Spearman going to get called for that foul. That is her 4th foul now, so Coach Burdett has to figure out she's going to get her out of the game. She will. Hollingshed will come in.
So 3 new players coming in for Tennessee. So right now, Tamika, as Moore goes to the free throw line. What does Tennessee need to do to try to get this win on the road against Texas?
Well, I think first off,
Lane violation will erase that free throw.
yeah, I think first off, you got to calm down a little bit. Texas has definitely increased the intensity. I love the back and forth of this game. Foul trouble right here. Got to play and move your feet.
Well, these are two of the highest scoring teams in the country. Nice look. Rejected by Booker. Jump ball, and it'll go to Texas. How about Booker?
Yeah, Booker. Booker loving it. She shows you her offensive production, but what you haven't seen is her defense come out of nowhere and get that block for Latham. Then the tie-up for the jump ball. It goes back to Texas.
And Booker just all over the stat sheet for Texas. She impacts every category.
You could say that for a lot of these players, and to think that Booker is only a sophomore.
Yeah.
We get an opportunity to watch her for a couple more years. Jordan Lee, one of the young prodigies for this team as well. Rory Harmon, her last year with this team, but continues to just excel in so many ways.
Spencer hit a deep three in the third quarter, missed that one, and it'll give it back to Texas. 8:29 left to play in regulation, a 5-point Longhorn lead, and the wholesale substitution by the Longhorns. This is where they can impact the game, their ability to bring in 5 at a time in the fourth quarter.
Well, I think with Tennessee, what they've tried to do and they've been able to do is wear teams down with the substitution pattern. So you got to hope that that will go into effect for them. But I think Texas, they're just continuing to do a great job.
And though Vic Schaefer said he would put his team's fitness up against anyone, this is a team that does not get tired. And they're being tested tonight in that category.
Well, it started with the workouts August and September last year. 5 a.m. workouts, 6 a.m. workouts, whatever it takes.
Moore. The Longhorns wanted a foul called on Puckett. They didn't get it.
Yeah, take it. Aaliyah Moore honestly could have gone either way. She had that elbow in. Puckett goes up. Both of them looking at the refs trying to get a foul called.
It's amazing, Tamika. No one has led more than 6 points in this game. Texas finished the first half so strong. They're trying to duplicate that and win the game. And a foul on the entry pass. Hollingshed was holding on to Jones.
Jones does the little things. When she's posted up, she knows when to post up first and foremost. So it's hard to guard because she's not posting up early. She knows the ball's getting to my teammate. Let me duck in now. And when she ducks in now, it's too late if you're not in position.
Oh, Harmon wide open. Missed the layup, got her miss, missed the follow. But that play was run to perfection. Longhorns can't get a bucket out of it. Cooper recovered, looking for help. Well, how about the intensity right now?
Yeah, Texas is playing at a different level. Tennessee, they got to either figure out if they're going to match this level or they're going to let Texas have it. But the way they're playing at home, you got to bring another notch of energy.
Puckett misses the three. Tennessee's made 8 threes tonight. Booker just could not get that to go down, and the ball will go back to Tennessee. 4 Lady Vols coming in for Tennessee.
Sub in, sub out, sub in, sub out. You could tell they're trying to get each other revved up. Ruby Whitehorn continues to talk to her teammates about, hey, pick up the energy.
Puckett, Whitehorn, Spencer, Darby, and Latham on the floor for Tennessee. Harmon, Lee, Moore, Booker, and Jones on the court for Texas. Whitehorn with fresh legs, stopped by Lee. Spencer, always looking for that three. 3 on the way, good by Z Spearman. Tennessee trying to force a turnover.
Texas trying to slow it down, want to break the press and set up a half-court offense. It's gone really well for them tonight. Been able to run a lot of their plays to a T.
Lee and Spencer will run the break for Tennessee. To Darby. And the ball will stay with Tennessee. Alyssa Latham knocking down a three earlier. Let's take another look.
Great cut by Puckett. Draw two defenders, leave Latham wide open at the three-point line. And that's one thing you'll note for Tennessee is pretty much everybody that's on the floor can shoot the three.
Latham was the first player to commit out of the transfer portal to Kim Caldwell after she got the job at Tennessee. New players on the floor now for the Lady Vols. Cooper back. Cooper double team. Gets by Moore. Jump ball. Love that call.
I like it too. Double team down low, nowhere to go. It's Elijah Cooper, but also from Tennessee, you got to find an open land. Taylor Jones, Aaliyah Moore down low. There's nowhere to go.
Shot clock. They're trying to get her to look at the shot clock. Oh, a foul on the arm. 0.6 seconds and more. Fouled Whitehorn.
Well, Coach Schaefer not too happy about this play, and definitely not something that you normally see like that. Not a possession that you see them normally have.
It is 2 free throws. She was not behind the three-point line, so Ruby Whitehorn, the transfer from Clemson, knocks down the first free throw. Whitehorn is another one of those Tennessee players that can go on massive runs. She's averaging 13 points per game, has 14 tonight. Make it 15, and we are tied at 66.
There's still a lot of basketball left to play, but I really like how both of these teams are dialing in down the stretch.
Texas has not lost an SEC game yet. Tennessee 3-3. They lost to Oklahoma and LSU by a combined 3 points. Lost a heartbreaker to Vanderbilt last weekend, and they're hoping this is the bounce back game.
I like that pass to Taylor Jones, not able to finish, but I love it going in.
Whitehorn continues to do damage on the offensive end. Texas has missed its last 6 shots. And Tennessee up 2. Into Booker. Jones, wow.
He comes out of nowhere to get these offensive rebounds. If you're going to have the ball in somebody's hand, I wanted in Madison Booker, you know you got to go to the boards. And Taylor Jones with the block.
Says, not in my house. That was a heck of a defensive play by Jones. Jones was shaken up a little bit, and officials are stopping play now. On that block, she came out physically suffering a little bit and is having to come off the floor. So as Jones gets attended to, we'll step away. 68 all in the final quarter.
Rebound on the offensive board. Getting some shots, getting on the baseline. Taylor Jones has had a heck of a day so far. You see right there, she grimaced after she got that last block.
Jones, 19 points, 12 rebounds, and an assist. Still out of the game. With her out of the game, how does that change things for Texas?
Well, you don't have a big body down low that's been so effective. You put Oldacre down low, but she doesn't have the same thing that Taylor Jones brings.
And Cooper beats the Longhorns down the floor and scores. Tennessee up 2, looking for the upset. Texas has not lost here in the Moody Center this year. Charlie Cream saying a win tonight for Tennessee would definitely put them back among the top 16 seeds if the NCAA tournament were decided today. Jones again, a double-double tonight. Only missed 3 shots, 8 of 11 from the floor, 3 of 3 from the free throw line.
And I can vividly remember the shots that she missed, but it's just because she's been so effective in every single thing that she's done. One was that the shot clock wound down, she had to take a shot. A couple she missed, a couple bunnies around the basket, but other than that, her footwork, offensively, what she's been able to do. Defensively, she's really altered some shots as well.
Third foul on Puckett. Puckett went to the bench for Tennessee, and Moore buries the first free throw. Moore is 2 for 3 tonight from the free throw line. And Moore knocks them both. The senior from Oklahoma, they call her Amo. And Amo knocks down both free throws. We're tied at 70, under 4 minutes to play. Cooper got stopped. She'll shoot anyway. Harmon with the rebound. Smallest player on the floor.
They call her Mighty Mouse because when she goes, it's very hard to knock her down. I mean, you look at her physical stature, and she is solid when it comes to that. We watched the video of her working out, getting back from the ACL tear, and it's just good to have her back on the floor.
Heart of a lion. Booker. Booker missed the shot. Spencer comes out of the pack. Pushing pace. Back to Whitehorn. Lady Vols just cannot get the ball through the net. And Texas will get the ball back. Darby, along with Latham, coming back in.
Yeah, look at this defense. I mean, I see Hollingshed able to get the rebound. Texas got lucky on that possession.
Good D by Oldacre down there in the post for the Longhorns with Jones out. Oldacre is manning the post for Texas, and they're facing full court pressure.
And we've seen Kyla Oldacre have some really big games. She stepped in and made some plays. Coming off of 15 points last game, 15 points, 6 rebounds against Maryland.
Different type of post player, though, than Jones, right?
Yes.
14 different times someone has led in this game. Moore, no. Darby with a rebound.
I like Aaliyah Morris attacking the basket, though. Last couple possessions, she's got it. Got to the free throw line. The previous possession, that one not able to finish. But I love her attack mode.
We're looking for our 15th lead change. Hollingshed fouled by Moore. 5 Lady Vols at the scorers table, but they'll have to wait on the free throws.
Leah Moore now, that's going to be her 4th foul. And you could hear the stand, everybody going crazy. Take another look at this possession. Hollingshed, that's a foul.
Jones back in the game for the Longhorns.
And part of it, the foul with her body and her arm. She released her arm into Hollingshed, and as she's falling down, that's a foul.
Hollingshed, 2 for 3 from the free throw line. Tennessee 10 of 16 as a team. Couple of big free throws made by Hollingshed, and Puckett will replace her. Puckett playing with 3 fouls.
Well, we got 2 players. Spearman playing with 4 for the Lady Vols, and Aaliyah Moore just picked up her 4th foul. 2 players that I think, well, I really feel like Aaliyah Moore needs to be in this game for Texas.
Moore, number 23 in white. A lob down to Jones. Knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Texas. So the Longhorns will run an inbounds play. 15 on the shot clock, 2:06 on the game clock. And Vic Schaefer going to take a timeout and get everyone on the same page before they run this next play. It's a good one here in Texas. Timeouts remaining. Tennessee has 1 more foul to give. Texas with 2 fouls to give, but Tennessee in a little bit of foul trouble.
Tennessee has quite a few players that are in foul trouble. Spearman obviously leading that. When you look at the Texas side, Aaliyah Moore, big player, number 23 on the floor, for Texas, and I feel like when you look at the player that needs to be on the floor, especially for Texas, Aaliyah Moore needs to reach. She's been a big difference maker.
I think we're going to have an overrule here. One official said it would be Tennessee's ball. The other said Texas. It's going to stay with Texas. What did you think of that last timeout taken by Texas?
I think it was a good timeout. Coach Schaefer, the players are looking at the bench. He's looking at the players. They look like a disarray. And with the game so tight, every possession matters. You don't want to get a 5-second call or worse, players not be in the right position.
Tennessee's forced a few 5-second calls. Good look. Harmon to Moore.
That's what I said. Aaliyah Moore for Texas is the player to watch right now. She's limping up and down the floor. So you hope that she can maintain what she needs to for the next minute and 50 seconds.
Ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay on this end.
Yeah, take another look at this. Great post up. Puck it out on high side. Good look by Roy Harmon, knowing exactly what you want and where you want the ball to go.
7 assists from Harmon. Moore now with 11 points, 4 rebounds. Tennessee will inbound it. Spencer holding the ball. Lobbed it to Cooper, stolen by Booker. Booker, open floor. It's a 2-point Texas lead. Under 90 seconds to play. Whistles blow and a timeout called by Tennessee.
Texas is definitely coming out with the intensity, finding ways to get the ball, finding ways to make the steal. Madison Booker, player to watch all the way to the hoop.
9% of places nationwide.
We are back. 1:26 to play. Texas spent a lot of time in that huddle. Tamika, what would you be telling the Longhorns right now?
Well, I think the biggest thing for Texas, stay steady. Defensively, keep the ball in front of you. You know Tennessee's going to try to run something to get to the basket. Play without fouling.
Whitehorn escapes, shoots, and a foul called. Jones will get called for the foul. Got her on the arm as she shot.
Take another look at it. Whitehorn doing what she's done all night, attacking the basket. Aaliyah Moore, good job not using her feet. Yes, Taylor Jones' hand comes down. That'll send Whitehorn to the free throw line.
Whitehorn 2 for 2 tonight from the free throw line. Both head coaches up on their feet, shouting at their teams. Whitehorn shooting into a sea of Longhorn fans behind the bucket, calmly makes that.
If you're a player, these are the type of games that you live for. You want to be in these big games. You want to be on the floor when it counts.
Clutch free throws, and we're tied at 74. Just over a minute to play in regulation. Possession arrow would favor Texas. Harmon. Booker.
Look at Aaliyah Moore posting up down. She wants the ball.
Shot clock down to 5. Booker probes, shoots. Jones with a rebound and a step back. Timeout, Tennessee. Taylor Jones continues to make her presence felt.
Taylor Jones is the player of the game so far. Like, she has done everything that has been needed for this team. Nobody's even around her to box out. Aaliyah Moore setting a screen. Taylor Jones up and
interim head coach. What do you think's going on in that huddle, Tamika?
Well, I think that's the first thing is you can't get caught up in the noise. You can't get caught up in the energy. They're down 2. All they need to do is get a nice look at the basket. At times in this game, Ruby Whitehorn has been a player that has stepped up and knocked down some big shots, and they go right to her.
Ruby Whitehorn again. So a good timeout taken by Jenna Burdett. Kim Caldwell told her to coach like herself, not like Kim Caldwell. Do things your way, and that timeout perhaps was a sign of that.
Well, they coach like committee, and Madison Booker,
Booker answers for Texas. And another timeout taken. This will be a full timeout by Tennessee as Texas goes back out in front by 2. And it'll be Lady Vols ball in their end of the floor, down by 2. Spencer to inbound it. That's Cooper. Whitehorn, shot clock is off. Spear. Spencer fights over a screen. 3 on the way. Off the mark. Jones with a rebound. And a foul called against Cooper.
they're trying to see if it was more than just a foul. But that's a great defensive possession for Texas. They made that shot impossible for Tennessee. The only thing they left was that three-point shot for Z Spearman, which she knocked down a couple of shots in the first half.
And the officials are indeed reviewing that last play. Cooper was called for a foul on Jones. She immediately raised her hand, admitted she had committed the foul, but they're looking to see if this was a little too aggressive.
Well, you see that three right there, both players down low.
The clock was just spinning, and then, yeah, Cooper had to commit the foul. And really, the crowd went crazy. To me, that's a good basketball play.
Oh, it's definitely. She looked up, she saw the clock winding down.
On 55 horns. Common foul, ball be out of bounds for Texas.
Common foul called. I think that the crowd helped influence.
I think for Tennessee, what they have to do, you're going to go for the steal. If you can't get the steal, you got to foul immediately. For Texas, I'm almost like I'm looking at this end of the floor. There is nobody back. Everybody's on the front side, so they practice the baseball pass.
Harmon takes it. They're going to have to foul her. Latham commits the foul, 3.2 seconds left. And that puts Texas into the bonus. Officials waiting for the players to come down to the free throw line.
Well, it'll put Texas on the free throw line. Remember, Tennessee does not have a timeout, so with 3.2 seconds left, they're going to have to figure out a way to get the ball from one end, 94 feet to the other.
Harmon 0 for 2 from the line tonight. She'll get 2 free throws here. It remains a one-possession game, but she can make it a 2-possession game with this free throw. Otherwise, Tennessee could tie with a 3. 3.2 seconds left. Harmon has iced the game for Texas. And the Longhorns hold on in a thriller against the Lady Vols.
What a game it has been tonight. Both teams came out and left their heart out. In my opinion, player of the game right there, Taylor Jones, stepped up, hit big shot, got some offensive rebound, did the little thing, the dirty play to make this game what it is, and great job by the Texas Longhorns.
Booker, 26 points tonight. Vic Schaefer's Longhorns go to 18-2 overall and 3-0 in the SEC. So once again, Texas wins it 80-76. For my Hall of Fame partner, Tamika Catchings, and our hardworking crew here in Texas.